Hello. Thank you for staying until the end. This is a baby. That's me. I'm a thoughtful-looking baby, right? Maybe I'm thinking about how it is that a baby that was born in the UK, can end up with an American accent. Probably not, though. I mean, at this point in my life, I didn't really have a concept of myself that would go beyond, I want that, and change me. Then I learned to walk and talk. And I wanted to be an inventor. I like the idea of labs and bubbling fluids, electricity arcing off of steel globes. My favorite characters in movies were the mad scientists. So, yeah. When I became a teenager, we moved to the United Arab Emirates. And I knew 4 things about myself. I was going to go to university, and I was going to get a PhD in some science. Didn't know what, science. I was going to be married by the time I was 19 years old. I was going to have 3 kids. And I was going to be a religious Muslim for the rest of my life. So sure. This is me at 19. We moved back to the UK, and I'm single, and I'm struggling in university, and I am having trouble with my religion. Eventually, I get to China, and I'm married, but it doesn't mean what I thought it did. I have a complicated relationship with my spirituality. I love the idea of having kids, but I don't think it's that necessary. No offense. And I don't have a PhD, and I don't really think I need one. It's fundamental in human beings to reflect on your lives and our lives. Where did we come from? Where are we going? What choices got us to the places that we are? What events outside of our control shaped us into the people that we are? I don't have a full answer to this question, but I'm going to try to answer it with science. Chaos theory is very IB friendly. It's interdisciplinary. We love that word. It scopes everything from ecology to the stock market to crowd control during protests. Okay, so next slide is going to explain everything, I promise. You're welcome. Bye. Oh, okay. I have to keep going. Okay. This is Edward Lorenz. He's a meteorologist. A meteorologist is a scientist that studies weather. And when he was at his peak of research, he was working in a field that was very unpredictable. Weatherman will say that it's going to rain tomorrow and it's sunny. You'll be told that Saturday, big storm coming. It comes on Wednesday, ruins your entire week. So this man, who was eventually known as the father of chaos theory, developed simulations to figure out if he could predict cloud formations. And it was quite successful. And in a very, very seminal moment, he popped this number into a simulation. And he got this. Okay, it works. I got a cloud. Great. Then he realized that he actually missed a few decimal points off the first time, 0.001, something like that. So he popped this number in, and he got this. Branch of mathematics that focus on the behavior of dynamical systems. Dynamical systems are systems that change over time. Complex systems that change over time, like weather, like ecology, like stock markets, like your lives. They're highly sensitive to initial conditions. Small changes mean big things later on. Small things that you didn't think were important, massive changes later on. Coming back, we can reflect on this. And they lead to not just massive, but unpredictable and complex outcomes. Not just where you went to school, but that person that you talked to a while back. Did that make a change in your life? I'm sure you can think of moments in your life where this happened. You might know this as the butterfly effect. Edward Lorenz's famous saying was, wondering if the flapping of a butterfly's wing in Brazil could set off a tornado in Texas. The chaos theory and the butterfly effect can be seen throughout history. This is Archduke Franz Ferdinand. And in 1914, he was assassinated. And his assassination is considered to be the main event that led to the First World War. But did you know that it was a total mistake that he was assassinated? So they first tried to kill him with a bomb. Totally missed him. He gets to where he was supposed to go, decides that he wants to go back and see the wounded from that bombing. And his driver takes the wrong route, goes down the wrong road, where a Serbian teenager who was trying to kill him was having a drink. And so he shot him and his wife. If he hadn't gone down that road, maybe this wouldn't have happened the way it happened. Excuse me. Okay, thank you. Maybe this wouldn't have happened the way it happened. I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened, but it might have not happened the way it happened. The original target for America's atom bomb was not Nagasaki. It was a small city known as Kuroko in Japan. And when the plane flew over to drop their payload and completely change the history of this place that is now known as the luckiest city in the world, they couldn't target the city because there was a cloud in the way. And so the fate of another city was completely changed forever. This man tried to get to art school twice, and he failed both times. Who knows what the fate of Germany would have been without their Führer? Vasily Arkhipov was in a submarine, and he was one of 3 people who could have decided to send a nuclear torpedo towards the United States during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The other 2 were ready to hit the button. He refused. Many experts say that he prevented a global thermonuclear war. So when you're asked this question, as we have seen so many times, like, what are you going to be? Who are you going to be? Turn to whoever's saying that to you and tell them we don't have as much control as we are taught to believe. That might seem depressing, but don't worry, I'm going to bring it back. You are being tugged and pulled in your lives by multiple, almost infinite factors, most of which are not in your control the way you think they are. So what I wanted to be, what I thought I would become, it doesn't end up like that most of the time. But you can choose to live lives of passion, to reflect on the singularity of your experience, and take life as it comes. And remember, the smallest actions have the most enormous consequences. Never underestimate the power of small kindnesses or of small cruelties. Give when you can. And not just money. Give your attention. give a compliment, give a smile. These things truly have unexpected effects because we all live in a system that is extremely sensitive to initial conditions. Learn to understand each other, especially when you disagree. Now, ultimately, this is a metaphor. Chaos theory is a mathematical construct, and it's very hard to map it directly to human life because we have reflectivity, we have response. But arguably, maybe not as much as you think. You can't control everything, but you absolutely can make a difference. So be a butterfly and bring the storm. Thank you.